Welcome, dear listeners, to another immersive journey in our series. Today, we invite you to join us as we traverse the lush, vibrant heart of the Amazon rainforest alongside Elena, a dedicated biologist. Prepare to be enchanted by the mysteries and marvels of one of the most biodiverse places on Earth. As we walk through this green haven, we'll learn about its delicate complexities and the deep wisdom of its indigenous guardians. So, find a comfortable spot, take a deep breath, and let the sounds and stories of the Amazon transport you to a world beyond your own. As the small propeller plane descends through a veil of mist, the vast green carpet of the Amazon rainforest spreads out below. Elena gazes out the window, her notebook resting on her lap, filled with empty pages eager to be marked with the observations of an enthusiastic biologist. The plane bumps lightly on the runway, a mere clearing in the jungle, signaling the start of her journey into one of the Earth's most mysterious and vital ecosystems. As she collects her belongings, her guide, Joao, greets her with a warm, reassuring smile. "Welcome to the lungs of the earth," he says, gesturing expansively towards the jungle. With a rugged bag slung over his shoulder, he leads Elena to an old jeep parked beside the airstrip. The vehicle jolts into motion, and they begin their journey deeper into the Amazon. The path is narrow and uneven, winding through towering trees and thick underbrush. Sunlight filters through the canopy, creating a mosaic of light and shadows that flickers across Elena's face. Joao points out various species of flora and fauna as they pass, his voice a soft murmur against the backdrop of the jungle's symphony, bird calls, insect chirps, and the distant roar of a waterfall. Upon arriving at the research station, Elena is introduced to a diverse team of scientists and researchers. The station, a cluster of wooden buildings raised on stilts, serves as a base for those dedicated to studying and preserving the delicate ecosystem of the Amazon. Her quarter is simple, a room with a hammock, a small desk, and a window that opens directly to the jungle. Later, as the sun sets, the jungle's daytime chatter gives way to nocturnal sounds, the croaks of frogs, the rustle of nocturnal creatures, and the occasional haunting call of a howler monkey. These sounds mesmerize Elena, reminding her of the untamed life that thrives in the darkness. That evening, gathered with the team at a communal table lit by lanterns, Elena shares her goals for the expedition. She's here to study the symbiotic relationships within the rainforest's ecosystem, aiming to understand how these intricate interactions contribute to the overall health of the environment. As the night deepens, Elena retires to her hammock, her mind buzzing with thoughts and questions about the upcoming days. The forest seems to embrace her, its breath mingling with hers, inviting her to unravel its mysteries. With a sense of belonging and purpose, she drifts to sleep, the sounds of the Amazon a lullaby connecting her to the heart of the world. In her first journal entry, she writes, "Arrived today in what I can only describe as the heart of the world. Every breath here is a lesson in the complexity and fragility of life. The forest feels like a living entity, breathing and watching. I am here to learn, to explore, and to hopefully contribute to the preservation of this incredible place." This night marks the beginning of Elena's profound journey, one that promises not only scientific discovery but also personal transformation, as she learns from the forest and contributes to its preservation. The Amazon, with its immense beauty and complexity, now becomes her home, her teacher, and her responsibility. Elena awakes to the gentle light of dawn filtering through the dense canopy above, the sounds of the Amazon greeting her like an old friend. As she steps outside, the air is fresh with the morning dew, and the vibrant chorus of wildlife fills the space around her. Today marks her first deep excursion into the heart of the jungle, and her excitement is palpable. With her backpack filled with notebooks, cameras, and sampling tools, she joins Joao and a small team of researchers at the edge of a well-trodden path that disappears into the thicker forest. "Today, you'll see the real Amazon," Joao remarks with a knowing smile. The path underfoot is soft, carpeted with fallen leaves and the occasional flower that has managed to find its way to the sunlight through the dense overhead foliage. As they walk, Joao teaches her to listen to the jungle's subtle language. Each bird call, insect buzz, and rustle in the underbrush tells a story. He points out a troop of capuchin monkeys swinging energetically from tree to tree, their playful antics a joy to watch. Elena takes notes fervently, capturing every detail, every color, every sound. Her senses are overwhelmed by the sheer diversity and vibrancy of life around her. The deeper they venture, the more immersed they become in the jungle's embrace. The air grows thicker and the canopy denser. Joao stops by a large tree, its trunk covered in intricate vines. "This is the strangler fig," he explains, detailing its unique relationship with its host, a vivid example of the complex interdependencies in the forest. Elena is fascinated by how the forest's inhabitants coexist and compete in their ecological niches. Midway through their trek, they come across a clear stream. The water is cool and refreshing, and the group refills their water bottles while observing the aquatic life. Elena spots a brightly colored frog perched on a nearby leaf. Its vivid hues warn predators of its toxicity. Capturing this in a photo, she marvels at nature's ways of survival and adaptation. The highlight of the day comes when they reach a small clearing. Here, the sounds of the forest seem amplified, a natural amphitheater that carries the echo of the Amazon. Joao encourages Elena to sit quietly, close her eyes, and absorb the symphony of natural sounds. It's an overwhelming experience, one that fills her with awe and a deep respect for the natural world. As they make their way back to the station in the late afternoon, the light changes, casting long shadows and bathing the jungle in a golden hue. The day's exploration ends with pages of notes, numerous photographs, and a profound sense of connection with the Amazon. Elena feels a deep satisfaction in her heart, knowing that every observation adds to the understanding of this magnificent ecosystem. Back at the station, as she reviews her notes and discusses her findings with the team, the excitement is palpable. They exchange ideas and plan for the next day's journey, fueled by the day's discoveries and the endless possibilities that the Amazon offers. Elena knows that each day here will unveil new wonders, and she is eager to continue her exploration and learning. Her journey into the heart of the Amazon is just beginning, and she can already feel its transformative power. The morning sun casts a soft glow as Elena embarks on a new journey deeper into the Amazon, this time to meet the indigenous people who call this vast jungle their home. Joao, who has established trust with the local community, accompanies her, explaining the importance of approaching with respect and openness. Their trek leads them through a denser part of the forest, where the trees seem to grow more massive, and the air holds the whispers of ancient stories. After several hours of walking, they hear the distant sounds of a village, children laughing, the rhythmic chopping of wood, the crackle of a fire. As they approach, the forest opens up to reveal a small cluster of huts arranged around a central clearing. The villagers watch curiously as Elena and her team enter. An elder steps forward, his face lined with the wisdom of years, and extends a hand in greeting. Joao speaks to him in his native language, introducing Elena and her purpose. The elder nods, his eyes reflecting a depth of knowledge about the forest that Elena knows she could learn from. Invited to sit by the fire, Elena is treated to stories of the tribe's ancestors, how they lived with the forest, not just in it. The elder speaks of the plants that heal, the spirits that guide, and the balance that must be maintained. Elena listens, fascinated, as Joao translates. Each story is a thread in the rich tapestry of cultural and ecological understanding that she had hoped to find. As the day progresses, the villagers show Elena and her team around their home. They demonstrate how they use the resources of the forest sustainably, crafting tools, baskets, and even remedies from the biodiversity that surrounds them. Elena is particularly struck by their use of a particular bark to treat wounds, a method so effective she can barely see the scars on those who have been treated. In the afternoon, the women of the village invite her to join in their daily gathering, where they weave and share their own stories. As Elena tries her hand at weaving under their guidance, she feels a connection not just to the people but to the forest itself, which provides everything they need. The threads in her fingers become metaphors for the interconnectedness of life. As evening falls, the village shaman invites the group to participate in a ritual meant to deepen their understanding of the forest. Under the canopy of stars, surrounded by the night sounds of the jungle, Elena experiences the spiritual side of the Amazon. The shaman's chants, the rhythmic drumming, and the dance around the fire create a powerful sense of being part of something larger than oneself, something eternal. Exhausted yet exhilarated, Elena returns to her hammock in the research station, her mind alive with the day's encounters. She reflects on the profound wisdom of the guardians of the forest, realizing that their knowledge is essential not only for her research but for the broader understanding of conservation. The experience has expanded her perspective, deepening her commitment to her work and to advocating for the protection of the Amazon and its indigenous cultures. In her journal that night, Elena writes not just of the facts and observations of the day, but of the emotions and revelations that have touched her deeply. The forest, she now knows, is not just a place of scientific interest, but a living community of which she has become a part, if only briefly. Her journey into understanding the Amazon has deepened, bridging the gap between visitor and guardian. The dawn chorus of the Amazon greets Elena as she wakes, each call and chirp now more familiar than ever. Today's journey, guided once again by Joao, involves delving into the ecological wisdom passed down through generations of the indigenous tribe. Their deep understanding of the forest's secrets is what Elena hopes to tap into, enhancing both her scientific research and her personal growth. As they walk through the verdant undergrowth, Joao explains the symbiotic relationships that define the Amazon. He shows Elena how certain plants grow only in the presence of specific fungi, and how insects pollinate these plants, ensuring their survival. It's a complex web of life, each species supporting the others in a delicate balance. They stop by a massive K-pop tree, its roots sprawling like the fingers of a giant hand. Joao shares a legend about the tree being a guardian spirit of the forest. He explains how the indigenous people use its fibers for making fishing nets and its seeds for oil. Elena is fascinated by this integration of practical use and spiritual significance, realizing how deeply the tribe respects and utilizes every aspect of their natural surroundings. Mid-morning, they arrive at a riverbank where Joao teaches Elena to recognize the signs of healthy water. They discuss the indicators of biodiversity, such as the variety of bird calls and the presence of amphibians, which signal a well-balanced ecosystem. Elena takes samples of the water, planning to compare them with samples from less pristine parts of the river further downstream. Lunch is a quiet affair by the riverside, the sounds of the water mixing with the rustle of leaves. Joao uses this time to teach Elena about the medicinal plants that grow nearby. He points out a shrub whose leaves are used to alleviate fever and a vine that, when brewed, acts as an analgesic. Elena notes each plant carefully, intrigued by the natural pharmacy that the forest provides and the knowledge that has been accumulated without the aid of modern science. In the afternoon, they explore a nearby area that has recently begun to recover from deforestation. Joao discusses the efforts of the local community to restore it. Elena observes the young saplings, a mix of species chosen for their ability to restore nutrients to the soil. Joao emphasizes the importance of such initiatives, explaining that restoration ecology is as much about cultural heritage as it is about environmental science. As the day draws to a close, Elena feels a profound connection to the rainforest, armed with new knowledge and a deeper understanding of how every element of this ecosystem is interconnected. Her respect for the indigenous methods of conservation grows, along with her realization that modern science can learn much from these age-old practices. Back at the camp, she journals about her experiences, her notes interspersed with sketches of plants and diagrams of ecological cycles. Today more than ever, she understands the critical role of traditional ecological knowledge in conserving biodiversity. This insight, she knows, will be crucial in her ongoing research and advocacy for the preservation of the Amazon. Elena's day in the forest has been an intensive lesson in the complexity and resilience of the Amazon. As she falls asleep to the sounds of the night, she knows these lessons will influence not only her work but also how she views the world. The forest has taught her about the interdependence of life, a lesson she carries within her like a seed waiting to sprout. As the first light of dawn paints the sky in hues of pink and orange, Elena stands outside her hut, sipping her morning coffee and reflecting on her final day in the Amazon. The jungle around her awakens, its myriad sounds of familiar comfort. Today, she will say goodbye to the rainforest that has taught her so much, but she feels this departure is merely a pause, not an end. Joao joins her, and together they take a slow walk to a favorite spot by the river, one last visit to this tranquil place. As they walk, they discuss Elena's plans to share her newfound knowledge. She talks about conferences where she will speak and articles she plans to write, hoping to convey the urgency of preserving such invaluable ecosystems. Joao nods, offering suggestions and stressing the importance of maintaining the balance between sharing information and respecting the forest's sanctity. They reach the river, its waters flowing softly. The reflections of the towering trees flicker on the surface, a painting of greens and blues. Here, Elena and Joao perform a small ritual, a tradition of the local tribe to thank the forest for its generosity and lessons. They each place a leaf on the water, watching as the river carries them away, symbols of gratitude and hope. Returning to the station, Elena packs her belongings. Each item, each sample she places in her bags feels heavy with significance. The notebooks filled with observations, the photographs capturing moments of beauty and wonder, the vials of seeds and soil, all these she will take with her, physical reminders of her experiences. Before she leaves, there's a farewell gathering with the station's team and some members of the indigenous community. They exchange gifts. Elena receives a handmade necklace, a circle of seeds and wood, symbolizing the cycle of life and connection. She gifts them books and scientific equipment, tools to continue the work and deepen their own studies. The farewells are heartfelt, the embraces long and meaningful. Elena promises to return, and they urge her to carry the spirit of the Amazon with her. As the jeep carries her back to the airstrip, Elena looks back at the receding jungle. Her eyes are misty, not with sadness, but with the profound impact of her journey. She has seen the Amazon not just as a biologist, but as a student learning the deep, intricate languages of nature. The lessons of sustainability, interconnectedness, and respect will influence her both professionally and personally. On the plain, as the forest becomes a patchwork of green beneath her, Elena writes in her journal. She pens down her final thoughts about her journey, about how the real work begins now, using her voice and her findings to advocate for conservation efforts. The Amazon has changed her, imbued her with a mission to ensure that such places continue to thrive, not just for the sake of biodiversity but for all humanity. Elena's story is a testament to the transformative power of nature. As she flies home, her heart is full, her mind busy with plans, her spirit committed. She knows the fight for the Amazon is far from over, but she is ready, inspired, and more determined than ever. The jungle may fade from view, but its echo will resonate in her actions and words, a constant and enduring influence. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the Amazon with Elena. We hope you found inspiration in the enchanting tales and vital lessons shared by the forest and its guardians. As we part ways, remember that the spirit of the Amazon, with its rich tapestry of life and legacy of wisdom, is a reminder of our connection to the natural world and our responsibility to protect it. Until next time, keep this spirit alive in your hearts and continue to seek harmony with nature wherever you are. Goodbye for now, and take care.